Okay, so get this right. I was making pad see ew the other night, and it hit me. That one little Thai cooking spatula, the kind you get at any market in Bangkok, it totally changed how I cook, like everything. It's like Thailand's influence, it goes way deeper than we realize.
It's true. Food for thought, literally.
And speaking of things going deeper,
Yeah.
apparently the US and Thailand, let's just say it's more than just beaches and smiles over there. We're talking serious strategy. So today we're diving into why the US is suddenly so interested in getting closer to Thailand.
Should be interesting.
To kick things off, Ambassador Godec met with Thailand's new PM, Paetongtarn Shinawatra. Big news by itself, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But the thing is, it wasn't just a photo op. They dove into some pretty heavy topics.
Yeah, if you look at what they actually talked about, it tells you a lot.
Exactly. So let's get into it. What stood out to me was the scope of their discussion. We're talking boosting trade and investment, education exchanges, working together on disaster response and water management. And then there's this, deepening cooperation on critical international issues. I mean, come on, critical international issues? That sounds like some serious geopolitical thriller stuff.
Well, maybe not quite a thriller, but it definitely highlights how important this relationship is. Don't forget, this goes back almost 200 years. The U.S. and Thailand, it's actually the longest relationship the U.S. has had with any Asian country.
Wow, I had no idea it went back that far.
It's a pretty big deal, diplomatically.
So 2 centuries of history. But it feels like things are heating up right now. What's the context for all of this?
Good question. See, each of those areas Godec mentioned, they carry weight, especially when you look at, like, the whole geopolitical game board right now. Let's start with trade and investment.
Yeah, let's break it down.
Strengthening those ties with Thailand. It's a strategic play by the U.S., right? Because China's influence in the region, it's growing. The U.S. needs to counter that.
So it's kind of like picking your allies strategically.
Exactly. Thailand's economy, it's booming. They're a valuable player in the region, and the U.S. wants them on their side.
Makes sense. But what about those other things they talked about, like disaster response and water management? I don't immediately think geopolitics when I hear that.
It's all connected, trust me. Thailand, they're really vulnerable to climate change, right? We're talking monsoons, rising sea levels, the whole deal. So the U.S. steps in, offers help, shares expertise.
Right.
It builds trust, strengthens relationships. It's what we call soft power.
Soft power. I like it. So under the surface, there's this whole strategic chess match going on. What are the stakes for both sides, would you say?
Well, for the U.S., it's about keeping things stable. That whole region, Southeast Asia, it's crucial for global trade and for security.
Can't argue with that.
And for Thailand, they're trying to balance their own interests. Because you've got these superpowers, like the U.S. and China, and they've got their own agendas.
Right, so Thailand's caught in the middle, kind of.
In a way, yeah. And remember those critical international issues they were talking about?
How could I forget?
A lot of that likely comes down to the South China Sea.
The South China Sea, why does that name keep popping up everywhere these days?
It's a major shipping route, right? Hugely important. Plus, it's rich in resources. And here's the thing. Several countries, including China, they all claim parts of it as their own.
Ah, so that's the critical part.
Exactly.
So how does Thailand fit into all of this?
They're not directly involved in those territorial disputes, at least not yet.
Okay.
But they want that region to stay stable.
Makes sense. For trade and everything.
Like exactly.
So it's bigger than just tourism and pad Thai, huh?
Way bigger.
It sounds like Thailand is a key player in a much bigger game.
That's a good way to put it.
So where do we go from here? What should we be paying attention to?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I'd say keep an eye on how this U.S.-Thai partnership develops and how other countries in the region, especially China, react to it.
So much to think about. It's like we've uncovered this whole hidden layer of global politics. Thanks for walking us through it.
Anytime.
And for everyone listening, keep exploring, keep asking questions. Until next time.